Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to study Exodus chapter 16.
Exodus chapter 16, verse 2 and 3. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, "O that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat, and when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger."
We need to be focused on kingdom destiny. Be kingdom minded, not on what's happening around us today. As the Israelites were in the wilderness and they thought they're going to die there, and they complained to Moses.
Verse 4 and 5. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain quota every day. Then I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not. And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily."
The wilderness was a place of emptiness. Sometimes we also feel in a place of emptiness, but God positions us there for a reason.
Verse 7 and 8. And in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, for he hears your complaints against the Lord. But what are we that you complain against us? Also Moses said, "This shall be seen when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to the full. For the Lord hears your complaints, which you make against him. And what are we? Your complaints are not against us, but against the Lord."
God is always hearing and listening, even if we think no one is listening, not even God. But that's not true.
Verse 11 and 12. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the complaints of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, At twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God."
So God's instructions are His command, and we are to keep His instructions. When we are told to do something, we should do it, believe it, have faith, and do it.
Verse 13 to 16. So it was that quails came up at evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And when the layer of dew lifted, there, on the surface of the wilderness, was a small round substance, as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's need, 1 omer for each person, according to the number of persons. Let every man take for those who are in his tent."
So the manna was something like cilantro that we know today, but it was supernatural food from God.
Verse 19 and 20. And Moses said, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." Notwithstanding, they did not heed Moses, but some of them left part of it until morning. And it bred worms and stunk, and Moses was angry with them.
So some of the Israelites thought they're going to be really smart now and collect more manna for the next day. And you know, the next day, it was so bad that maggots were in it.
Verse 23 and 24. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is Sabbath, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today, and boil what you will boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains, to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not stink nor were there any worms in it.
So now here comes Moses with instructions from God and says, on the 6th day, collect twice as much manna for Sunday, because God doesn't want you to work or do anything on the Sabbath. So some of these people who tried to collect the manna for the next day were trying to tell Moses, that's not going to work, it's going to be bad, it's going to be full of maggots. And so they did listen to Moses, to God's instruction, and by their surprise, the manna for Sunday, for the 7th day, was just as fresh as from the day before. The Israelites seen how God provided them with food where they thought they were going to dry out and die there. But God is our provision. Sometimes we don't see how things are going to turn out ever in a good way, but God does come and He provides.
Verse 32 to 36. Then Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it, to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt. And Moses said to Aaron, Take a pot, and put an omer of manna in it, and lay it up before the Lord, to be kept for generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel ate manna 40 years, until they came to inhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 1/10 of an ephah.
So in the Hebrew Bible, it says that God gave them instruction to put the manna in a golden jar for a time in the future. What can we learn from this chapter today? Well, here we've seen that God was testing the Israelites, and sometimes He tests us too and puts us in a situation that we find impossible, and we don't see how we can get out of this horrible situation. He wants to know which way we turn and what we are going to do. Are we going to have enough faith in God and trust Him? We just have to remember that God is our provider, that He is with us, He hears us, He knows everything, and not to fret and panic and have an anxiety, but go to God, get closer to Him. Just worship and praise Him and get really close to Him, and He will respond. I hope you enjoyed studying this chapter with me. I want to say God bless you all. Until the next time.